Hello, hello, and welcome, elementary music educators. This is a video to show that December doesn't have to be chaos, or at least it doesn't have to be as chaotic as it always is. Not only do we have concerts to prep for, we have data that we need to collect, we have our own personal holiday everything going on at the same point, and on top of it, our students have actually lost their minds. So, what this entire series called the 12 Days of Movement is meant to do is meant to give you back your time. All of these lessons are no prep. All of these lessons use movement continually throughout the lesson as a way to take all the energy that our students have pent up in their bodies and use it instead of fighting against it. Because we all know that if we fight against it, that at the end of the day, we're only going to be hurting ourselves. And all of these lessons are meant to give you the data that you need to show how much your students are using. So we're going to jump right in. This is day 3, and the lesson is One-Dog Sleigh. And this lesson is going to be packed full of solfege, rhythm play-alongs, listening exercises that all go with the Nutcracker, and a couple play-alongs as well. So let's jump right in. Little quick synopsis. One-Dog Sleigh, amazing story, very easy to use in the music classroom. Thank you, Mary Casanova. So wonderful. It's very similar to if you're familiar with the mitten, which actually I have a video up of how I use the mitten. That was for day 2 of this whole series. I already have that posted, ready to go, the full lesson plan, how I use it, a rhythm play along to find your lost mitten, and a scarf dance to find your lost mitten, right? There is some bears and some running away that you and your students are going to need to do for that, so be prepared. One-Dog Sleigh is very similar in the way that you just keep on adding more to it, and just like that, we're going to add a little more to our story each time. You start very simply. You go over some solfege. They will need do, mi, and sol. You go through it all. Again, I'm going to be showing you how to grab this lesson along with all 12 lessons that are included in this series completely for free. All right, but with most of my things, not only do you get a written lesson plan to really go through how I use all this lesson, but make sure you are in slideshow mode because your girl here, oh, I love some animations, right? I think that they're so visually stimulating for our students, so make sure you're in slideshow mode. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go over some rhythms. You're going to need some tas, you're going to need some titis, and you're going to need some half notes for my lessons. Because this is for kindergarten through 2nd grade, maybe going into 3rd grade, I use ta, and that's how I do my hand. We go through and we do a little bit of a listening analysis to decide what words we're hearing. So make sure you look at this beforehand so that you can make sure that you're giving your students the rhythms that you want them to hear. Play is how I would say it so that my students know it's not just play, but it's going to be a half note. You go through, you get the rhythms in, then you add in the solfege that we just went over, and then you're ready to begin the story. You read it. It's about this little girl who wants to go in her sleigh with her one dog. That's all she wants. She just wants the dog. Is she going to get to keep the dog? No. There's going to be owls and badgers and everything under the sun is going to join her in this sleigh. It's going to get too heavy for the horse, and then, you're going to have to see what happens. First things first, you read a little bit of the story, and then you come back to the slides, and because we want this to be no prep and as easy as possible, grab this book from your local library. Or what's wonderful is all the stories that I have, there are follow-along videos that are on YouTube. I make sure of that before I create any of these lessons. So they are on YouTube, ready for you to use, but make sure that we're supporting these amazing authors who make these stories just so easy to bring into the elementary music classroom. First thing you do is you read a little bit of the book, and then you come back for just me and you in our One-Dog Sleigh. Have your students add in some steady beats, really feel that beat. Continue the story. Squirrel just joined our sleigh ride. Click the snowflake and dance how you think the squirrel would. Now, what's wonderful about all of these listening exercises is they all connect in the Nutcracker to Tchaikovsky, which is what all of these lessons are about. All of these lessons that I'm talking about for the 12 days of movement come with a lesson plan, come with a rhythm play along, and come with a scarf dance that each connect to one of Tchaikovsky's songs from the Nutcracker. And what's wonderful is that each of them are going to be just posted on YouTube. So even if you don't get this lesson, you can still use all of the play-alongs and the movement breaks that I'm going to have posted. And I haven't actually made this one yet. I'm making it today, but you can take a look at it right now. It's not posted on YouTube yet, but when this video drops, it most likely will be. What I love about this is you're going to take your students on a sleigh ride, and your students are going to be the horse, and they have to gallop, they have to trot, they have to do all those things while doing ta and titi and ta, that half note that we've been talking about in this lesson, rhythms. I'll give you a little taste of what it looks like. Is your students go from following a bird, and then a bear comes, and they have to run. But then the bear comes and they have to run away from the bear, all using TTs. I just know that this is going to be a huge hit in my classroom. I cannot wait to use this. A little bit of a sneak preview right there. All right, easy to bring into this lesson that is all about a sleigh ride, all about a sleigh ride. So why not use it as a time to not only get the data that you need, which I'll show you how to do that in a second, but also give your students the movement that they need. So yes, could they just be clapping along to this 100%? Or could they be up and dancing to this? Or could they be up and jumping to these rhythms? 100%. But that's not the only movement activity that is going to be included in this lesson plan. And again, this is just going to be a little sneak peek because I'm actually finishing making this scarf dance today. All right, so it will be posted on YouTube right when this YouTube is posted. So if you're watching this right now, don't click off of it because I still got a lot to tell you. But make sure that you check out this scarf dance after. I'm so excited to go ahead and just put the finishing touches on to make this really engaging and interactive for your students. Again, so fun. We're going to go on a sleigh ride. Your students are going to get to be the horse. And it's all to Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Overture. So fun, so engaging. Let's jump back to the story. So what's going to happen is every time that a new animal joins your sleigh, you're going to have your students click the snowflake and then dance the way that they think a squirrel would. And what I did is I really tried to make sure that the animal that was joining the sleigh would connect well to one of the Tchaikovsky songs from the Nutcracker. Or because if I use, like, say, the Arabian Dance with a squirrel, it might not make as much sense. But I think this song it's just gonna be perfect for a squirrel. Then you get back to them working on the solfege and the rhythms that we really want to be incorporating throughout the entire lesson. But this time there's a squirrel. Continuing on with the story, and now you see how it's gonna happen. Each time that a new animal comes, you add in a new small section of the dance. And I do keep these short. They're all about 30 seconds long because do we have time to perform the entire Nutcracker ballet? No, of course we don't. But we do have time to give our students that movement that they need in a way that is still going towards what we want. We want them to be actively listening to the music and asking them questions about the whole thing. You're not just playing them a song, you're asking them, all right, how would an owl dance to this song? Is an owl bouncy or is he smooth? Is he piano or is he forte? How can we make sure that we're connecting, not only getting our students to listen to these wonderful classical music pieces that then will then open up the door for how we can talk about Tchaikovsky later on, but how can we also make sure that they're intentionally listening? We're making sure that we're questioning them. Well, why did you choose that? Why do you think an owl would look and dance and move like that? Tell me why. Before continuing on. They're going to do that a couple times for the lynx and for the deer, and each time they sing a little, they move a little. It's all engaging. It's all interactive. But then one of my favorite things, our sleigh is getting full. We wouldn't want anything else to come along, especially not a great big bear. Complete the following rhythms, but be careful. If you see a sleeping bear, freeze. Because you don't want to wake the bear. The last thing we want to do is wake the bear and have him jump on our sleigh. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? Ha ha ha. Jump and say the rhythm. So again, making sure that we're harnessing that movement, and not only harnessing it, but we're making it part of our lesson. It's not something that you have to prep. It's not something that you have to plan and think of, well, how can I really incorporate movement? It's here. It's ready for you, and it's simple. Get them jumping when you go 1, 2, ready, go. On ta, ta, ti, 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 ti. But again, they have to be careful because at some point, there are going to be some sleeping bears. And another way just to make sure that our students aren't just jumping to jump, aren't just moving to move, they're doing it intentional. They're doing it for a purpose. Continue with the story, move because we woke up the bear, and continue singing, ending with the mouse that jumps on too. This lesson is perfect for the music educator who is so busy doing everything else that they just don't have time to plan it, but what really makes it perfect is how many you get. With the 12 days of movement, With the 12 days of movement, you have 12 no prep lessons. All of these lessons are going to give you assessments that you need, are going to get your students moving, and all connect with all the free stuff that I have on YouTube that's ready for you to use. Again, my day 1 and day 2 are already posted. Each come with a rhythm play along, a scarf dance, and a lesson plan walkthrough of how I then use Mr. Willoughby's Christmas tree and the mitten in my elementary music classroom. And not only that, but probably the best thing about this that I'm so happy I get to be able to offer is this is completely free. You get all of December free and even all of January free. The reason for December is I want to make sure that all of you elementary music educators who feel stressed, who feel like December is just the worst time of the year to be an elementary music teacher, because it does come with a lot extra that no other teacher really has to do. All the teachers are dealing with crazy students. All the teachers are dealing with crazy schedules. But a lot of us are also dealing with concerts. And yes, that's one thing that a lot of us, I know I do, look forward to the entire year. But that doesn't mean it's easy. Get the no prep lessons, grab the assessments that you need, and get your students moving. And December is completely free. And not only December, but also January, because also included in your membership is not just the 12 free lessons, it's my entire curriculum. All with movement breaks, all of my scarf dances, all of my assessments, and especially 20 plus hours of professional development, where if you're ready to start your year 2026 now with more movement incorporated into your classroom, then if you don't slip into the well-deserved teacher coma that the December break will have in store for many of us, then you can use that time to look through that 20 hours of professional development that is waiting for you. No prep, all the data that you need and full of movement. Grab this lesson as well as the other 12 and make your December make sense. Get rid of the chaos, get rid of the stress, and add in as much of the movement as you can. And remember, if the membership just isn't for you, grab the rhythm play-alongs, grab the scarf dances, make sure you like and subscribe because this channel is new, but it's gonna get packed pretty quick. And I hope it's gonna be packed with movement breaks and rhythm play-alongs and things that music educators really need. So if there's something that you feel like you really need, make sure you're liking, subscribing, and commenting and telling me what else I can do to make this profession that, yes, we love, but that is in no way, shape, or form easy, a bit easier for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy playing!